Hello, everyone, and welcome to another night of keeping ourselves awesome all through 26 so that we can end it with a way bigger bang in a much happier manner than 25. So, if you're empathic, sensitive, or intuitively tuned in, you don't just get tired. You get a feeling of just being crowded even when you are the only person in the room. Other people's moods, expectations, stress, unspoken emotions can linger long after the interaction with that person ends. And you know what I'm talking about. That just feeling of cling. Today, we're going to talk about energetic hygiene. Okay? Not dramatic cleanses, no crazy protection rituals, just simple everyday practices you can layer into what you already do so that that energy can go where it needs to go and you can actually have a protective barrier. Whether you do these exercises first thing in the day for your protective barrier or at the end of the day, just be able to get that energy off and know that you are you again. We're going to focus on two different methods. One is a shower cleanse, and the other one is a grooming as meditation. They aren't about removing something bad. They're about returning you to your baseline of energy. Because empathy isn't a flaw, but it does require a little extra maintenance. And maintenance doesn't have to be complicated. And before any of you are turned off, keep in mind that everyone to a degree is empathetic. So these exercises are for even those of us that aren't as tuned into others' emotions as some people are. Feel free to definitely take notes with everyone else, even if you don't feel like you're empathic at all. So as I mentioned, our first exercise is that shower cleanse. And the reason why I definitely recommend a shower cleanse is because water is one of the simplest ways possible to reset an empathetic nervous system. It's not just a symbolic reset, but a physical reset. The pressure, temperature, and sound of water actually help regulate an overwhelmed nervous system and release energetic residue. So how do we do this? Remember how I said simple, okay? We are not going to overcomplicate this. You don't need candles, special products. You don't need to do a visualization marathon. Just as the water is hitting your body, imagine it rinsing off weight, not negativity. Just imagine that it's just rinsing off all the extra energetic dry skin. We are thinking the weight of tension, static, emotional noise. Let the water do the work, okay? It's going to take care of rinsing all of that off, so long as you're letting it. And if you feel like you need to add something extra, I fully understand. I do as well. And while my affirmation is a little different because I do kind of what I call a deep cleanse, so it's a little more complex than what I'm trying to give you guys, which is simple and easy to add in, but an affirmation to add into if you need something a little extra to help you focus on getting rid of that extra. You can say this aloud or in your head. What isn't mine returns to where it came. What is mine returns to me without bane. You can say that once or repeat until it feels complete. When you feel like everything is off of you and you're one of those that wants to just keep that kind of steady beat going, repeat it that many times or just do it the one time and just let the water do the work. Whatever aligns best with you. Because remember, we're not forcing anything. There's no intensity. There is just letting the water rinse off the extra. Now, why does this work? Empaths have an unfortunate habit of their body holds the emotional impressions that we pick up while we're out and about. because we can only hold a shield up so long consciously, and we can only make sure that we brush off so much in every portion of our day. By doing the shower cleanse, it gives your body a signal of safety to your nervous system. It lets it know that it's okay to release. And it creates a physical endpoint to the emotional absorption. It gives it a nice solid stopping point so that you can reset and get back to that baseline. And it reinforces energetic boundaries without needing to put on a brand new energetic suit of armor. Just little things to make sure that nothing stays that shouldn't, and you can return to you. Now, before we jump in our next exercise, I wanted to take a moment to thank all of you for being here and invite you to join my Patreon if you haven't already. Along with 15 or more minute discounted personalized readings, you can also gain early access to this video and all my future videos for my evening self-helpers. Now, if this is on the right track with you, excellent. I've got something for every budget. Just use the link in the body below, and don't forget the code for 20% off your first month. Discount is only for a very limited amount of time, and each new member will get a shout out not just on next week's self-help videos, but also on my Facebook and Instagram. But now that we got that out of the way, let's get to that other exercise, because, hey, I can only let my ADD run so much. So let's talk about personal grooming as a meditation, because either way, good, bad, or indifferent, we're brushing our hair, we're shaving our body hair. Grooming is a daily act of grooming is an act of daily self-contact. When you do this with intention, it becomes a way to reclaim your personal space, recreate your bubble, if you will, reset those boundaries that you've been working on building as an empath, and bring awareness back into your body. So for this, we're actually going to kind of break down two sub exercises, okay? Because personal grooming can mean a lot of things. We're going to check into if you've got crazy long hair like I do, brushing your hair, or trimming your facial hair, or personal grooming, depending on your physical gender and what you plan to do with your body. So when it comes to brushing your hair as a meditation, now I'm not going to lie, in my case, because I hate brushing my hair, I have a difficult time doing this one, but when I actually do, it is actually very helpful. But for those of you that regularly brush your hair and don't mind at all, this is fabulous. So as you move the brush through your hair, okay, you're going to move slowly. You're going to feel the pressure of the brush going through every strand, and you're going to try to stay present with the sensation, okay? And with each stroke, just think to yourself, I clear the day. Because our hair does hold a lot of energy, and if it's longer hair, it's got even more places to hold that energy. But the nice thing is while you're doing this exercise, you don't need to imagine anything dramatic. You just need to notice the rhythm, the repetition, and the grounding effect. So remember, as you're brushing, just move slowly. Allow yourself to be present for that, and just keep saying to yourself, I clear the day. Now, let's say that you don't exactly have crazy long tresses, or like my good self, not a huge fan of attempting to brush the monster on your head. That's where shaving actually becomes a great backup, if not main plan. Because, gentlemen, I know that some of you are a huge fan of either shaving it all off or trimming it. Whatever the case may be, I know that longer beards are not exactly a typical thing until you're much older and much wiser than the rest of us. And for the ladies, Hey, if you're still one of those that enjoys shaving their legs or their underarms, this is still fabulous for you too, because it's still contact. But as you work, you need to do a couple things, okay? Bring attention to precision, because you're handling a razor or some trimmers. Those can still cause some injuries. The care that you're putting into it, and being, like with the hair brushing, present in the situation. Don't let your mind wander off to all the things that you are going to have to be looking forward to that day or the next day. Just be present in the moment. Because right now we're not worrying about appearances. It's about intentional self-maintenance. Intentionally making yourself feel the way you should about yourself when it comes to just being in the moment. Now, after each run of the razor or the trimmers, it reinforces this thought process, okay? And this can also be a chant. I choose what stays, I choose what goes. Because as you're working with your trimmers or your razor, you are choosing what stays and you are choosing what goes. Remember how I mentioned that hair holds energy? It's not just the hair on your head. Hair anywhere can hold and grab energy, because think of them as like antennae. Antennae on an insect picks up all of the things around it. We do the same thing, except with energy and our hair. Now, why would grooming still work beautifully as much as brushing your hair would? Grooming engages the body. It makes you aware of your physical self and how much it picks up. And as I mentioned, it reinforces those personal boundaries, because you are choosing to make sure that what should stay with you does, and what needs to go goes. And it helps your mind, through those simple actions, expand it to other parts of you, of your world. And it anchors awareness in the present moment, because how often are you in that moment where you are right now? Because I'm willing to bet that even as you are watching this video, you're probably thinking about the laundry list of things that you need to do, which actually might include laundry. Or you're thinking about what your kids are going to need the next day. You're thinking about what all you need to do for your partner. None of that is bad. These are just tips to help you be in the moment, at the moment. So when can you possibly use these? Much like with the shower cleanse, it can be before your day begins or at the end of the day, to ensure that you are keeping yourself at your baseline for that past day's social interactions, or the ones that you know are coming. Because sometimes we know in advance that a meeting is going to be a little on the stressful side, or we got a surprise meeting and that happened, yeah, and you're still feeling a little rattled from it. Or say you know that you're about to be having a severely emotional conversation with somebody and you just want to be prepared. Not a bad way to make sure that you are ready and make sure that you stay in control of you and don't accidentally pick up extra. Just little things to help you be in the moment and have that barrier without actually putting on extra energetic armor. Now, the nice thing is that you don't have to add in the extra to your showers and grooming every day. If you would like to, hey, I encourage all of the emotional maintenance, because that is how we stay physically, emotionally, and mentally regulated. You can choose to only do the shower cleanse on or before coming heavy days, or doing that grooming meditation when you feel overstimulated, or you know that a situation is coming. Energy hygiene works best when it's boring and repeatable, but when it's boring and repeatable, that's how it sticks. So you do you. Just remember that you do what aligns with you. Because being empathetic doesn't mean being open to carrying everyone's energy all the time. It means learning how to clear that extra energy without closing yourself off. because there's a reason you have this gift. It's to help you connect with others and be there when they need you. These practices are not intended to disconnect you from others, just to reconnect you with yourself. If this helped you out at all, make sure that you save it into your comfort kit, because we all know that 99% of empaths have one. And definitely, if you know an empath that's been struggling with releasing extra energies, share it to them so that they can go, okay, I can do this. I can add this in. Either way, remember, you're allowed to feel deeply and still come home to yourself. Have a great night, a fabulous weekend, and I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow for the single daily card reading.